I hope everyone's having a great Saturday night. I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about having self respect, specifically from the female perspective. I want to talk about the way that women oftentimes draw attention to themselves and how destructive that is. If you are falling apart publicly because of choices that you're making, whether that be alcohol abuse or drug abuse or whatever it might be, if you are publicly falling apart as a way to draw attention to yourself, what I want you to understand is that the people that you will draw towards you when you're in that state are only a few types of people. They are the types of people that are only there for the party, only there for the good time, will not be by your side if you are in a desperate situation and you actually need an intervention. The types of people that will be drawn to you will not be there for you in your worst moments when you're doing that sort of behavior. Another thing that I want to discuss is why you would do that. What is it that is unresolved? What trauma is unresolved within you that makes you self-destruct? That self-destructive behavior doesn't just destroy you. It has a ripple effect on the people that actually do care about you. So please think twice before you make self-destructive and selfish decisions that impact other people. Also, try to reflect on how you would feel if somebody that you cared about was doing that to themselves. Sometimes when you look at your own behavior from the perspective of an outsider, it can give you some insight into the way that you're being perceived by other people and into the way your decisions impact other people. Not to mention the poor decision making that often follows when you're inebriated with either alcohol or drugs or any other substance that alters your sane cognitive perception of what reality actually is. When people are shocked that they don't seem to retain friendships after behaving like that, it's not always due to their behavior, but a lot of times it stems from the fact that they were not hanging out with people during that phase of their life that were actually genuine friends anyway. It is much better to sit at home on a Saturday night and read a book or watch a movie or paint or pretty much do anything other than going out, getting wasted, potentially getting assaulted, because you're so unaware of your surroundings that you can easily be predated upon. Please think carefully before you put yourself in a situation where bad things can happen to you. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I am not saying that if someone is assaulted, that it is their fault, that they are the responsible party in an assault. The person that assaults is the responsible party. Having said that, all women and all men are responsible for their choices in where they choose to be. If you put yourself in an environment where something like that is likely to occur, and if you take substances into your body that alter your cognitive perceptions, you are placing yourself in a situation that exacerbates the likelihood of bad things happening to you. I firmly believe that people that have survived abuse and assault should be able to have empathy from other people. But I also think that they should reflect on what environmental factors facilitated that occurring, and whether or not, from a safety and security standpoint, there's anything that they could have done to have possibly prevented that incident from occurring. The reason that it's important to reflect on that is that you don't want to put yourself in the future in a situation where that could potentially ever happen again. I'm saying this because I think that assault of a man or assault of a woman is horrendous, and I don't like that happening to anyone. And I think it's important that we all learn how to keep ourselves protected from the likelihood of that occurring. If it's happened to you in the past, I would just want you to know that I think that that is absolutely terrible, and I hope that God gives you the strength to be able to process through that trauma, and I hope that you're able to fully recover psychologically from the damage that that inflicted on you. And I hope that you're able to have healthy relationships with other people. After something like that occurring, that can often be very difficult. It is possible, but it is challenging. And unfortunately, statistically, when you've experienced a severe trauma like that, you have a tendency oftentimes, because of the self-deprecation and the self-loathing that comes along with something like that, to continue to put yourself in environments which exponentially increase the likelihood of repeated exposure to assaults from a variety of different people. So I would ask you to reconsider the environments in which you place yourself, and whether or not there are alternative environments that would put you in a much safer environment, a much more stable and calm environment, and one that would allow you to grow and thrive as God intended for you. We can't always prevent bad things happening. That's not realistic. But there are mitigation strategies that we can enact that will enable us to be less likely to become targets of predatory behavior by abusive other people. Do your best to protect yourself, and whether you're a male or female, get some training in self-defense. That is the smartest thing that you could possibly do. God bless.